42. Hike.
Metro Channel 7 presents the high school football game of the week. Tonight from Memorial Stadium in Kannapolis, it's the A.L. Brown Wonders taking on the Spiders from Concord in the annual Battle for the Bell. Hi everyone, along with Woody Kate, I'm Randy Whitley, and goodness gracious, it's hard to believe it's the Bell game already.
Yeah, Randy, it really is. And this year, we're down in the end zone, beyond the end zone. Normally, this bell is on the sidelines of one of these two teams. Last year, you recall, Concord beat Kannapolis on the field. But later, it turned out they had an ineligible player. The Bell game was one they had to forfeit. The teams have agreed to kind of keep the Bell locked away from both. It's here in the end of the end zone like has never been done before, at least to our knowledge. So one team's going to come down here and claim this thing tonight.
It's a little neutral zone. Are we in the demilitarized zone, so to speak?
I think we really are, Randy, but this is a key game. Normally, this has been for conference championships over the years, but tonight, it's a battle of momentum. These teams come in here with losses, more losses than many expect. They're both very young. They both lost their starting quarterback in the first game. It's going to be huge for one of these teams to win this game tonight and head toward conference play with momentum.
Well, you speak of that. I remember, in the old cliche, throw the records out the book. I remember I didn't went to neither school, but both teams coming in here at 1-9 or 2-8 or whatever years and years ago. Boy, it just. It's unreal.
It is, Randy. One thing's for sure, we're going to see a great, hard-hitting football game between these two teams tonight. It always is, no matter what.
It's a great setting for a football game. It's a perfect football night. And as always, my partner, Woody Kane, will do the indubitable. I hope we don't get locked up this year. Go ahead, Woods.
I love it. Ring that bell.
7 game of the week, Concord and Kannapolis. This is the 72nd meeting between the Spiders and the Wonders, of which Concord leads that series 37-30. There have been 4 ties. Well, what is the mood of both the Spider camp and the Wonder camp? Let's go to Steve Gant, who's on the field.
Thanks, Randy. We're Philside with Concord Spiders head coach Izzy Smith. Z, it's been a long time since we've seen you.
Yes, Steve, it has. Since South Point beat us last. I do want to apologize to all of our Concord fans and to the people of Kannapolis for not being able to appear Wednesday night on TV. Whether people realize it or not, our athletic trainer resigned earlier in the year or at the end of last year, and we don't have a trainer, so we have 2 people that are paramedics, John Sherrill and Ann Reese, and they can't be there till after 6 o'clock. So our practice is from 7 to 9:30. And so I do apologize for that. I wasn't ducking the opportunity to be there. I will not be there for the Parkwood or the Robinson game either. So I am sorry, but hopefully next year we can get that work back.
Yeah, and all this time we thought you were hiding from us.
Yeah, it gets kind of hot up there sometimes with the questions, but we always appreciate the coverage that the TV stations have given us over the years. And I apologize, missing Randy and Woody too. So.
Yeah, well, those guys sit the best. They said hello to you. Z, let's talk about the team. You seem to be getting better and better. We know it's a young team. Your offense shut out last week, but seems to be playing better ball.
Well, we're getting a little bit better. We're awful young. We got 7 sophomores that are playing a lot for us, and we've got a number of seniors that did not have a lot of experience from last year. We lost 7 starters off of last year's team, and we lost a number of starters off of our offense. It put us in a bind, and we're just now getting to gel a little bit, but our kids are playing hard. They come to practice with a great attitude, and that's all you can ask out of them.
Coach, for years and years, we come out here the last game of the season, Concord meets Kannapolis, Kannapolis meets Concord, and you guys play for the right to move on for a championship or a playoff right. All that's changed. Is the sharpness taken off, or is anything different?
Well, I think the real big thing right now is this game right now, whenever it's played, is a big ball game for both teams. For Ron and I both, and I don't want to speak for him, but we talked a little bit before the game. We were sitting up there talking about some issues, and I think the real big thing for both of us, we're both trying to find a victory going into our conference schedule. Now, they have one more week with South Rowan. We jump right into the Sun Valley game next week. No matter what happens tonight, just as I said last year, we want to come out of this on a positive note. Whether it's a win or a loss, we want to come out on a positive note going into the conference schedule, because we could still win 5 or 6 conference games and win the conference championship and be where we expect to be.
Tonight's game, what you looking for? What can we expect?
Well, I think the first thing, anytime you play a Kannapolis team, you better be prepared for their special teams. They always do a great job. Their coaching staff have them well prepared. Defensively, they're very sound. Offensively, they're very opportunistic. They score from anywhere on the field. So we got our hands full. I'm just hoping that we can play up to our potential. We've got to move the ball, keep it out of their hands, use ball control offense, not have turnovers, and not give up a big play.
Okay, we'll let you get to work. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks, Steve.
And good
I
luck.
appreciate you covering Concord football.
Good luck to you, Z. Okay, Randy, back to you.
Oh, and the world would not be complete without that famous saying of the 23-year head coach at Concord, E.C. Smith. Well, last year, his Spiders did pretty good. A shutout number, 21-0 over the Wonders of Kannapolis. Let's see how the Wonders check out this year.
Thanks again, Randy. We're here with Jeremy Ryan, the assistant coach of the L. Brown Wonders. Jeremy, don't know what to ask you, man. I know you guys have got beat up, some injured players, and a young team.
Well, we never use injuries as an excuse. We live to fight another day whenever you can, and that's what it's all about. Injuries are part of the game, and we don't complain. We're just trying to win every day, every game.
You know, got to go back to a couple weeks ago, East Randolph. You got down quick, but seemed to bounce back and seemed to make some progress and turn things around. Although didn't come back and win the ball game, but I know you had to be pleased with the improvement.
Well, when you have young players, you make young player mistakes, and they're aggressive mistakes. So you can't get on the kids too awful bad about it. We get a few missed assignments here and there. It hurts us. Overall, the kids have played their hearts out. You can't say anything bad about them, and you know they believe they believe in what they're doing, and that's really been to their advantage and to our advantage because they practice well, and that's really what we're looking for at this point.
Jeremy, I just talked to E.Z. Smith, talked about usually Concord and Kannapolis meet each other the last game of the season, and it's usually for a playoff berth. All that's changed. You guys are playing to win, naturally, every ball game. Does it change anything in your camp?
Nah, you still want that bell. I mean, everybody wants the bell. The only thing is, maybe it's for, I don't know, you never play for pride, but you never want to lose the black and gold. This is my 7th or I think my 8th game or something like that. The time has really gone by fast. We just want to win. I don't care how.
Yeah, and I mentioned it earlier. You got a young team, and a lot of these players first experience of playing for the Bell. What do you tell them? I know you don't have to pump them up or get them up, but what's the last thing you tell them?
Just enjoy the experience. Take in the ambiance of the whole thing, and then just enjoy the fact that you have the opportunity to be out here.
And tonight, keys to the game. I know you're home field. I don't know if that's an advantage or not, but in your mind, what's the keys to the game?
We need to limit our mistakes, and I can't turn it over. We need to convert our third downs. Defense needs to stone them 3 and outs whenever we can. Our offense is based on rhythm and timing, and when you get the ball once a quarter or 2-3 times a quarter, sometimes that doesn't bode well for you. But we just want to keep the ball in our hands and keep their offense off the field and play football.
Okay, man. Thanks for talking to us, and good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Randy, back upstairs.
Okay, thanks, Steve. As the team's getting set to enter tonight's contest, as you see Coach Ron Massey, kind of the head guy, but yet he's kind of standing out there just contemplating as we look around the arena here tonight. Let's take a look at some of the keys of the game, Woody.
Well, number one is which defense is going to show up tonight, Randy. Concord has allowed just 7 points since that big opening the season loss to Butler. Kannapolis, meanwhile, has already given up 119 points in 3 games. Next is ball control. Both of these offenses are young. They're not going to do a lot of fancy things tonight. They're just going to want to keep the ball. They have both had backs put up 100-plus yards on them in the past week, so that'll be a key as well. And quarterbacks, Brandon Franklin, only his second start for the injured Drew Marr, and then Leonard Franklin, a good runner. He had 2 touchdown passes 2 weeks ago, but was shut out last week against Mount Pleasant.
Okay, let's go to the field side, pick up some of the coin toss.
Have to. Flag goes down, you come up, make sure you know what's going on. If you do not come up there, I have to make a decision. So come up, your decision, you understand? The tail, call it in the air. If I drop it on the ground, we'll do the whole thing over again. On the head, it is a head. You won the toss. You want to kick, receive, or defend the goal, or you may defer your choices. You want to receive. Which way do you want to kick it? It's on the scoreboard. Go back around here. Goal won the toss and will receive from this end. Green will be kicking this direction. Come on, man.
Woody, one of the things that we're going to miss, you see him right there, the guy that crunches Drew Marr, his senior season. What a heartbreak this must be for that young man.
Yeah, I understand the other day, Randy, he got a phone call from Peyton Manning with the Indianapolis Colts, who is, understand, his favorite player. So Peyton called up Drew and said, you know, wish you luck and hate the injury happened and all, but he's got a smile. He's talking about coming back.
Well, you know, if anybody can do it, the determination of that young man, what a fine, outstanding student athlete, I might say.
Yeah.
I remember him when he was not much bigger than that cast running around.
Yeah, and it's such a shame, Randy, because you really saw him develop last year, and a lot of folks were looking for a big season out of him, but injuries happen. It's part of the game. It's a shame, and I know a lot of folks were looking forward to seeing him play, but we're about ready to get this one underway.
As Coach Massey would say, it's a hard lesson sometimes, but there is more than football, and it's a tough lesson in life sometimes. As you see, the bank is full. All the good seats have been taken, but there's still plenty to be made as we'll get set to kick off Kannapolis Concord, the bell game. Richard Williams is the deep back for Concord, and it will be Chase Louder kicking it to that young man right there. Concord in their all gold, trimmed in black with the black helmets. Kannapolis all green with the white trim. And the battle for the bell is underway. Good kick by Louder. Williams will not have a chance to return. It's 2 yards deep in the end zone, and they'll bring it out to the 20. Let's take a look at the probable offensive lineups here.
Well, as you look at that Concord offensive line, Randy, Newsom and Shue, the guys with experience there, the center and the tackle, they have been, they're only juniors, but they've got the experience. Running backs, Williams, a sophomore, 200 yards or so on 50 carries, couple of touchdowns. Phillips is actually the leading receiver out of the backfield, and he's a senior there as well. There's Franklin.
Leonard Franklin, a 5'11 senior, 170 pounds, and sharing time with Allman last year, and they'll give it straight up the gut for about 2 that time. Maybe out to the 22-yard line, forward in progress with Williams, the running back. On the tackle, looks like Jamal Weeks for Kannapolis from the linebacker slot.
And then as we look at that Kannapolis defense in just a minute, we'll tell you about those after this play.
Gorgeous night for football as the Spiders break the huddle. They have 2 wide receivers out of the I formation. Tailback. He's got about 4 yards this time out across the 25, 26-yard line is Williams, the workhorse in this backfield. Had almost 200 yards coming into tonight's game. Here's how the Wonders shake out defensively.
Gonzalez and Allison are juniors. Howie, a sophomore there. Josh Reeves, the senior leader, 220-pounder. King returns to the linebacker spot as well. And Peoples, Randy, going to be going both ways tonight.
3rd and 4, kind of an either-or call here. Run or pass, we'll see. And they may get it without the benefit of running the play. Look like
One official was just now throwing his flag into the fray. He wanted to make sure he wasn't left out.
Looked like the traffic cop at the intersection gave everybody the go side. Illegal procedure against the Spiders. First penalty of the game, so that will change things. Let's watch this again, Woody. This is interesting.
Well, this is confusion, clearly.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, they definitely.
The quarterback and the center are the only ones that didn't move.
So now it's 3rd and 9. Franklin giving it to Williams on the draw, and Kannapolis is there waiting. Led by number 42, Jamal Weeks, who's already got 2 tackles here in this first series.
He's a 200-pound junior, Randy, and he has been noticed on this first series. Boy, just breaks through, keeps his containment, and runs him down.
Read the play perfectly.
Yep.
Puts the Spiders into a punting situation here right off the bat as Justin Galarza, who's had a look like Taylor Colson down there on the kick coverage. Let's take a look at the Wonders, how their offense will lineup tonight.
How about this, Randy? The juniors there, Sloop and Atwell, 302 and 308, respectively. Running backs and the wide receiver spots, Galarza, you just saw him there. He's an exciting junior. Peoples adds some experience to that backfield, and once again, he'll be going both ways tonight.
Wonders with 4 wide out here at the 48-yard line. 1 setback. Brandon Franklin, 200-pound junior, good-sized quarterback. And they'll go to the run across midfield for about 4, maybe 5 yards, carrying the football, Jonathan Peoples.
Just a little counter, Randy. Starts left, comes back right, finds a little seam.
Let's take a look at the Spiders' defensive line right.
And this is really the strength, Randy, of that Concord defense. Reggie Lee, an all-conference performer. Howie and Lynch, they're the seniors along that line. The linebackers, Ligon, Waters, they're both juniors. And an interception last week, Waters had, Randy, or 2 weeks ago, rather, Walters.
Here's Franklin, shovel pass, and stop. Waiting on it that time. Rashad Edwards, nowhere to go as Justin, Galarza was the guy who got tackled on the play. But it was 57 in there on the tackle for Concord. That's Rodriguez Lynch.
And Lynch just got a hold of the jersey and wouldn't let go. Also some penetration from Colson there as well, the junior.
Well, now it puts Kannapolis in a 3rd and long, and I did not see the penalty marker drop, but Kannapolis moving back as if it's against them.
Well, they're talking with the Concord captains, that's for sure. So I think you are correct.
See, breaking out those lucky all-gold uniforms tonight.
Yeah, and down there on the sideline, Jamie Talbot, Randy, the defensive back, even has the gold shoes on, number 17.
They've got to be gold. Be gold.
Yeah. Wow.
May have a little jewelry underneath that uniform too, you know. Big penalty there. Back to the 38-yard line. It's 2nd down and 20. Franklin trying to set up a screen on the out, though. Galarza did a 360, gets across midfield down to the Spider 48-yard line. Josh Smith on the tackle. But I said, Justin, where are you going, son?
We talked about him being an exciting player, Randy. He shows it to you here. Watch how far he runs, and he makes it work. He runs back, runs around a couple of guys, and now he's headed the right way.
Doesn't get his momentum build up there, I guess.
He's definitely got the speed.
Now a realistic shot here for the Wonders after that pass completion. It's 3rd down and 6 from the Spider 48. Franklin to the air again. Good protection. Pops it over the middle. Complete to Peoples. What a move to get by a couple of Spiders. Still on his feet. 1st down and 10 Wonders at the Concord 28-yard line. But that was some nifty footwork after he caught the ball.
Randy, he put such a fake on the Concord secondary that 2 of them ran into each other right in front of him. I mean, he jumped. Watch this. He jumps out of the way and they collide. Oh! Now that's a move. When you make 2 guys run into each other, that's a move.
Wonders line it up out of the I formation this time on 1st down. It'll be the fullback, and I believe he got tripped up at the line of scrimmage.
He may not have gotten quite back to the line of scrimmage.
Not much going there for Jamal Weeks.
Hard to see, Randy, if he got his legs tangled up with Franklin or if it was one of the Concord players who got a shoelace in there.
Concord was close. He may have got that shoelace. No gain. 2nd down. There goes Galarza. A huge hole. They got him by not the jersey, but the T-shirt underneath. It was Taylor Colson holding on to make the tackle.
It went down all the way to the sub-jersey region there to make that tackle. Watch it just come out like a roll of paper towels. That's any way you can stop him. Look at that.
That wasn't that perforated.
If he gets going too fast, that'll come out like a parachute and slow him down so he won't crash.
Then when it does pop, it'll go. They're going to bring the chains out. It was close enough for a measurement. So with 7:27 to go in the opening period, opening drive for the Wonders, they come up that close. And it'll be 3rd and very short. First time we've seen the sub-jersey.
That's right.
Tackle.
Boy, look at the size, though, Randy, on Franklin. Both these quarterbacks, big, strong kids. 200 pounds. 6'2".
Franklin, of course, I think, the JV quarterback last year for the Wonders.
This is only a 2nd start.
Galarza hit and stopped short of the 1st down. Concord guessed right that time. A host of gold shirts were in there. And leading the charge, it looked to be number 23, Kevin Walters.
The linebacker was there, number 23, right in your picture. The junior came right up the middle to stop this play. Watch it. Right there.
Well, Ron Massey says we're in 4-down territory. Let's call a timeout and talk it over here. It'll be 4th and 2 when we come back. 6:56 left, opening period. Back in a minute. Quick timeout. Wonders lining up. Spiders now breaking their defensive huddle. 4th and 2 at the 20-yard line from the I formation. Franklin looks over the Spider defense. They'll go with a quick toss left side. Galarza will be stopped short of the first down by Concord. And that's one of those key early plays that maybe won't go in those final stance, Woody, but definitely a momentum builder for that and confidence for that defense.
Well, you had Weeks out there as a lead blocker, Randy, and he tried to pick up Reggie Lee. That's a mismatch. It didn't work, and Lee was in there to help shut the play down. Watch 42 as your lead blocker here. See that? It didn't work. He just kind of chipped him and kept going looking for somebody else, and Galarza was right there behind him.
So the Spider defense sends a message early in this game. And their offense on the field for the second time at the 20-yard line. Fullback busts through the opening hole and stiff on his feet out across the 35-yard line. Jermaine Caldwell, a bruising back, 270 pounds, over 6 foot tall, a little experience in that backfield. And as we saw last week in the South game, those fullbacks can hurt you on some of these.
Yeah, just watch him, Randy, just banging through here. Crash, look at that. He ran over people.
That's no match.
Wow, he looked like he was looking for the contact.
Well, those big fullbacks just, they meet those little corners.
They're fun to watch.
There's no match at all. 17 on the pickup. Williams trying to reverse his field, and a lot of green shirts in the area will stop him short of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they got some pads on him early, Randy, and then here come all the green jerseys and nothing doing on that play.
Travis.
Watch this. The hit here.
That was Jamal Weeks again.
Yeah, credit him as being the first guy there, but the interesting thing was all the green jerseys just got there in a heartbeat.
No gain. They say he did get back to the line. 2nd and 10 from the I with receivers down to the bottom of your screen. They'll go short side with a quick toss. Williams tripped up in the backfield, fell forward maybe a yard that time, near the 39.
I think we need to give Matt Jordan, Randy, the defensive lineman, credit for making that shoestring tackle. Number 72, the senior, looked like he had gotten upfield a little bit to help bust that play up.
We're down to 5.5 minutes to go, opening period. No score, and a big 3rd and 9 facing the Spider offense. Quick count, Franklin to the air, sidelines and through the arms of the intended receiver. It would have been short of a first down. Justin Phillips couldn't hang on that time.
He's the leading receiver so far for Concord, Randy, but that one had some zip on it, no question.
Well, Phillips had caught, coming into tonight's game, 4 passes. And now Quan will be on to punt for the second time tonight.
Kind of starting to chew up the middle of the field a little bit here, aren't we?
Kind of played in this 30, 35
Yeah.
yard
Speaking of the
area.
field, it looks great.
Fantastic. May have been bothered a little bit. This one will not be returned, but it does take a good Spider roll, and we will be blown dead near the 31-yard line. I think he may have altered it. There was some pressure coming in at the end there.
Hard to tell if he got a hand on it or not, but he was definitely there. Check it out.
Yeah, you see it. He was kind of angling it toward the short side of the field. Look at this, 71, one of those big...
That's Scotty Atwell, 308 pounds of him going out there. And how about Randy Sloop right there, number 76? He's only 302. They have to feed him a little bit more so he can catch up.
So next time we have Coach Massey on Headliners, we're small, we're,
Those are some big old boys now.
I don't care what brand of football, those are big.
Plenty of 4A schools would love to have that kind of size.
Wonders now will line up out of the gun, and now flags fly.
Well, one end zone clock said 0, the other one said 25, but it is a delay.
Coach
The
Massey.
one behind him, Randy, showed 0. The one on the other end showed 25.
Coach Massey kind of questioning that.
Third penalty against the Wonders. They've giving up 25 yards for the miscues already.
Back to the 26-yard line to start this series. Snap, bobbled, and let's see. Kannapolis, luckily for them, got back on the ball. I think one of the offensive linemen got it. Hit
That's your man,
Franklin.
Scotty Atwell, we were talking about a minute ago. Watch him come through here. Franklin's chasing it, but it bounds away. But Atwell, Johnny on the spot.
Just a high snap. Kannapolis kind of self-destructing here, going the wrong way. Right now, 2nd and 20. Another loss of 5.
Now the officials have blown time again. Looks like a Concord player has an equipment problem, a helmet problem there. Oh, I see. It's Tyler Colson, the junior, trying to get his helmet squared away.
4 wide receivers this time with a lone setback out of the gun. Franklin, screen over the middle, complete. It'll be far short of the first down, making the reception. Artis Butler got back a little bit out across the 30 near the 32.
And, you know, Randy, Kannapolis knows that Concord's strength is their defensive front. They know they're going to get some pressure. They know they're going to be charged and looking for that sack. You go to men, dump it over their head, and you make this a reasonable 3rd down try instead of a 3rd and 20-something.
That's 3rd and 9 right now. They need the 42. Franklin looking. Now, says, I'll still it to the guy coming back on the football. That was the, he looked downfield, he looked crossfield, he looked the other side, and he said that might have been his 4th option there. And that option was Ricky Ardrey.
Yeah, and you see some good pressure here coming from Concord. This was a slow developing screen. He's coming all the way from the Concord side of the field. And there to meet him at the end of the play was Big Reggie Lee, all 275 pounds of him.
They'll be short of the first down, a punting situation. And a pretty good kick by Andrew Meade. Takes a good wonder roll. And Concord will just let it get away from it. All the way down to about the 17-yard line.
Richard Williams, the sophomore, was back there, but you know he was hearing, no, 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 no.
Heard a lot of it, even across field.
Yeah.
3:19 left, opening period on the battle for the bell night here in K-Town. Concord and Kannapolis going at it.
First game of the year, football-wise anyway.
And the first
played here.
Yeah, the first home game for the Wonder varsity unit.
And Coach Massey was telling us there have been some other activities on the field, but first football game of the season here.
It'll be the fullback call this time, maybe 2 yards. Wonder stacked that up pretty well.
Let's see, it looked like one of the first guys there, Randy. Well, I don't know. There wasn't a first guy there. There was a host of them there all at the same time.
You have team tackles?
Yep.
Maybe that's what it is.
Franklin coming back in with the play.
He looks bigger than 5'11", 170 pounds, doesn't he, Luke?
Yeah, he does.
2nd and 8 from the 19-yard line. Good line shot. And now Franklin will play fake. Intercept coming the other way is Kannapolis' Brett Bartles, and he'll take it out of bounds. Inside the 5-yard line. I don't think he ever saw him.
Right, Franklin never did, Randy. Bartles, the defensive back, was kind of lurking there around the hash mark area. When the ball comes in the air, he took 2 steps and was right in front of it. Franklin's got good protection, but he just never saw him.
Well, Coach Massey was saying we need a defense to start taking this thing away. Well, he got his wish here, and now Kannapolis has a golden opportunity. And in a game like this, against rivals like this, you've got to take advantage of these situations because you may not get too many of them.
That's exactly right. And this was going to be the big matchup. Kannapolis' offense had scored points. Concord's defense had been stopping people.
Tailback out of the power eye, stopped for about a yard, maybe 2 off the right side. That's tough road down there when you get inside the 5.
And Randy, that has been the bane of Concord's offense this year. They've done some good things, they've made some good plays, but they haven't been able to put them together consistently in a string to put up a lot of points.
2nd down and goal for the Wonders. Toss sweep this time. Here goes Galarza. Flags are down. Galarza will be ridden out of bounds at about the 2. Flag was dropped pretty early in the play, too.
Yeah, it sure was.
That might be of the offensive holding variety. We'll
Yeah, it's over here in the direction the sweep was coming, the little pitch there. Yeah, he's already pointing back there.
Oh, illegal procedure.
5 for flinching.
Can't flinch.
Nope. But at any rate, Randy, the Spiders had that one bottled up pretty well. They pursued it right toward the sidelines and didn't let the corner be turned.
So far tonight, the Spider defense looks to me like they have got the containment on the corners. It's going to be hard to run around the end zone.
Yeah, and they always have some speed, Randy. Watch them flow out here with it. You can see the movement there. But just too many gold jerseys stringing this thing out.
A big 5-yard penalty against Kannapolis moves it back to the 9, and it's still 2nd and goal.
That's our corner cam.
Play fake. Franklin, pressure over the middle. Touchdown. How did it get through? Josh Russell making the catch.
I'm like you, Randy. I can't believe he got that through. The 6'1" sophomore was in the middle of about 4 Concord Spiders.
Yeah, the only green shirt in the area threaded the needle on that one.
And how about Franklin, Randy? 5 for 5 through the air.
And that will be his only 2nd touchdown pass of the year. Extra point attempt up by Louder, and it is through. Timeout on the field. 1:42 remaining. Nobody. Gary Kannapolis drawing first blood. What do you talk about all the pageantry? We even ordered a full moon for this game.
Everything is as it should be, Randy. Beautiful night here for football. And Plummer's Perch even has some new bells and whistles this year.
Yeah, we just missed the pyrotechnic display over there. But
They've gone electronic this year.
But they've also got some pretty good sized fireworks going on over there.
Randy, how about our keys? Ball control. Concord didn't do that. And Kannapolis quarterback. The big touchdown pass from Franklin. Wow!
Good gracious. Talk about pumped.
I think Frank, the Kannapolis radio guy, just had a coronary over there.
Chase Louder. I better check that young man to see you sure he's not kicking in the pros?
He might have some kind of metal shoe or something there because he's blistered 2 of them.
Well, Concord will start, I believe, this the 3rd time at their own 20-yard line. They'll work from the eye this time with their version of Mr. Franklin at quarterback. Lee Williams, nice opening seam there and a good block on the line of scrimmage. They'll get about 8. Brandon Allison on the tackle initially for the Wonders.
And Randy, I really believe that Franklin, the Concord quarterback, can do some damage with his legs as well. But look at Williams just fighting upfield for extra yardage.
He has, I want to get into the flow of the game. They just haven't called that number yet. 2nd and short. It'll be Williams. Looking like he's going to throw the football. Now, nothing there, so he'll just take one for the team. The loss back to the 25-yard line. I thought he was getting ready to raise that one above his arm and let it go. Jamal Weeks there for Kannapolis defensively.
I'm not sure if he just slipped and he put his arms up to keep his balance or what. Let's see if we can pick it up. I think he might have just slipped trying to cut, Randy, but he who hesitates is lost, and Kannapolis was all over that one.
3rd and 5 now with 30 seconds left in the opening period. You see the Concord side. Yes, the bands are here tonight. We'll have a great halftime show as well. Franklin, pressure, upfield, a little short. Pressure may have caused that early throw. Eric Lard trying to come back for the reception.
Couldn't quite make it happen, but Concord, Randy, is going to have to hit a couple of those to open up that Wonder defense a little bit.
Let's watch and see how close and see where that pressure comes.
Here's our sideline intern, Rob Stuck, providing us that shot. And
one more step, a little bit more time in the backfield, and he could have got it upfield. Now Quan on the punt again. End over end, tough to field. Galarza back, and we'll get away from it. And it stops at the 34-yard line.
Well, the one turnover, the story of the game so far, Randy. Other than that, the defense has just been kind of pounding the opposing offenses in the middle of the field.
Concord's defense has done really what you've wanted from them. It's tough for any defense if you have to start and try to play goal line defense from about the 5-yard line.
Well, they're very young, as we mentioned. They gave up 45 points in the first game, Randy, to a pretty good Butler team. That's a 4A school that went to the playoffs last year and got a lot of players back. Then they shut out East Rowan the next week, and then only allow 7 against Mount Pleasant the following week. So the defense has not been the problem. The problem is their offense hasn't been able to put up enough points so far.
They'll send a man in motion and go with a fullback. Quick call. And meandering out near the 40-yard line that time.
Crowd kind of subdued, aren't they?
I think they're smothered. There's so many in here. You know, you can't move. People's the ball carrier, by the way, and that will be it. The first quarter is history here in the 2002 renewal of Kannapolis and Concord. As we come back, Woody, if it's Wednesday night, it's football season. That can only be one thing.
Headliners. We'll be talking with the coaches. Give us a call Wednesday night as we'll be talking with that man, Ron Massey, the head coach of the A.L. Brown Wonders, and his counterpart just a few miles up the road at South Rowan, Rick Van Hoy.
Another big gate game.
Yeah.
And don't forget, in a couple of weeks, we've got a special headliners for you.
Yeah.
We won't give it away yet. Franklin on the quarterback draw, fights off a tackle. Oh, what a move. Midfield, down to the 45-yard line of the Wonders. You were talking about the other Franklin running. Well, I tell you what, this Franklin may have heard you. Colson on the tackle for the Spiders.
Yeah, and Randy, he can get the job done with his legs as well. Watch him here. He had a touchdown a couple of weeks ago as well, or rather last week, so he can really get the ball downfield with his running ability, and that makes an offense so much more dangerous. Concord's offense, Randy, almost requires a very athletic quarterback who can run. That really makes their offense fly. A traditional classic passer is not their style.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to Galarza, picking his way for about 5 near the 40-yard line. And take your pick as far as the Spiders head on the tackle. We'll give A.J. Shue benefit. Also, Howie over there as well.
And Galarza, Randy, was riding a couple of guys piggyback down the field. He's not that big, about 180 pounds, but he was taking all comers on that time.
It's been a pleasant addition to the varsity unit this year. 3 wide receivers this time on 2nd and 5 with the Spider 40. Franklin going for it all. Deep pattern, complete, touchdown Wonders. What a catch, his 2nd touchdown pass of the night. Josh Russell would not be denied. He smelled the goal line that time.
Sure did, Randy, and what a strike. There was a Concord defender right there, and Franklin delivered a tight spiral right on the money that Russell fought for and got. Look at the big smoke ring from the cannon flying across there. Did you see that?
That's something new they've added, I believe. 40 yards on the touchdown pass. And now Chase Louder, the senior kicker, in to attempt his 2nd extra point of the night. Kicks it into the crowd on the bank. 10:51 to go, first half. Wonders extend their lead to 14. It's been the Franklin to Russell touchdown connection tonight. 2 touchdown passes by Franklin, 3 on the year, and 3 touchdown catches on the year for Russell, 2 on the night.
We talked about quarterback being one of our keys, Randy. Franklin, 6 for 6, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns.
That's pretty efficient. He's going to rate high in the quarterback. And another touchback as Lowder drills it about 2 yards deep in the end zone. The 4th time he's done that tonight.
What a defense that is. Check out the touchdown pass again, Randy. You'll see a big crowd of defenders here. And actually, Russell has to come back a little bit for the ball and takes it away. There's 2 Kannapolis receivers, 2 Concord defenders there. But Russell just wrestled it away from Calvin Costner.
A late flag dropped down at the 20-yard line. There you see it across the far way. Did not see it initially, and may have been a late hit, personal foul. Well, it wasn't a late hit.
Unsportsmanlike
yeah.
against Kannapolis.
So that will get a dead ball foul. That's an addition, so they'll move it out to the 35-yard line.
Stevie, our stat man, Stevie Gant, says that makes it 5 penalties for 45 yards against Kannapolis, and that's a hefty amount, Randy. We've still got almost 11 minutes to go in the first half.
It's kind of a neat name, though, Stevie Statman.
That's right. He has a little name tag. Uh-oh.
Oh, this is a nice run. 12, 13, maybe 14 yards on the run for Williams. And he's asserting himself. Richard, only a sophomore. Brandon Allison on the tackle.
Watch him just follow his blocking here and take his time, Randy. Picking his way upfield. See that? He doesn't get helter-skelter and try to outrun stuff. He just waits for the seams to develop and works his way through.
You're going behind a 270-pound fullback. You got to have a pretty good hole to get through. And speaking of that, there he goes, rumbling, bumbling. And this is Jermaine Caldwell. 2nd time he's carried tonight, and another great job. Tarin Fisher on the tackle, 148 pounds. You got to be kidding.
That's a 130-pound difference there, but somehow he got him down.
That must have been a little magic there.
Watch this now. Here's 271 pounds, mean 148 pounds.
Well, you get them down the low.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's technique.
At the 41-yard line, here come the Spiders. This is the first time they've been in Kannapolis territory tonight, I believe.
Yep.
This one, depending on those, the whistle. I don't know where they're going to mark the forward progress. Josh Reeves.
Look out now. Williams is out of the helmet. Here comes a flag. A little bit of pushing and shoving. Williams, and I couldn't see who else, got a little upset.
Josh Reeves has been, we haven't called his name a lot. They have been doing a number on him, double, triple teaming, because he's a pretty aggressive young man on the defensive side of the ball. And
they couldn't keep him out of that play, though. Let's see if this is going to be one of those both ways type penalties or what.
And we'll see.
Unsportsmanlike. Kannapolis. Again. No penalty against Concord. Ron Massey's upset.
It's always the first guy they see. I don't know if there was any retaliation by Concord, but 30 yards now on this drive.
Stevie Statman says 6 penalties for 60 yards now for the Wonders. Watch this. Let's see if we can figure out what happened at the end. Here's Williams going through. Reeves is wrestling him down, and then they get the pushing and shoving. Maybe they were trying to strip the ball. It was Reeves and Williams who were pushing.
Good gracious.
2 number 5s going
Are
out.
they not into this or what? Here's Williams, stutter steps, and that's what he said a few moments ago. You hesitate, chances are you will lose. The winner that time was the Wonder defense.
And Brandon Allison, Randy, the 200-pound defensive lineman, the junior, is really starting to have a good game. Number 99 there is starting to be in on a lot of plays.
99, you gotta feel it.
That's a number change there I forgot to tell you about.
Yeah. Thanks. We'll make our...
Well, I was kind of hoping maybe he wouldn't do that much until halftime, and I could tell you, but too late. That plan blew up in my face.
That's one of those late notices.
Yeah.
You never get the memo. 9:03 left in the first half, and I think what's happened is the referee is calling a little powwow. Josh Reeves, one of those defensive captains, said, "All right, guys, let's play football."
I think you're exactly right.
2nd and 13. There you see Reeves. Quick toss, short side. Williams cuts it in. Nifty run of about 5. They'll still bring up 3rd and long. The line to make will be about the 17, 18-yard line. And Concord deepest of the night.
Give Matt Jordan credit for that tackle, Randy. He got enough of the hip to get Williams down, but this is Concord's best drive of the night so far. But so far this season, their offensive woes have been that they put together nice drives, but then done something to ruin it before they could score.
3rd 9, Leonard Franklin, play fake ball, batted in the air, and incomplete. Getting a big ball up, Josh Reeves. I guess he did what the referee said, play football, young man, and boy, that's a nice defensive bat.
Coming up from the linebacker spot, he suddenly finds himself 2 steps into the backfield right in front of the quarterback. Watch this. And he does exactly what they coach you to do. Don't let that ball get by you.
You've been taking a page out of Julius Pepper's playbook, isn't he?
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
It's hard to do. Well, you're in 4-down territory. Concord obviously is keeping the field goal kicker on the sidelines. If you don't make it, you got the Wonders pinned back at the 25. They'll have trips to the right this time. Franklin will roll big side. Backside pressure coming. Hit as he throws. Incomplete. Andrew Baker nailed it. There you see Baker. Blindside. Gosh, that's going to hurt tomorrow.
That's the key, Randy. He was standing there, Leonard Franklin was, looking for something to develop downfield. He never felt Baker coming until it was too late. Watch this. He'll set. He's looking. Baker. And right in front of him to help make a sandwich was Brandon Allison. Watch this.
And he came the long way around, too.
Allison having a big game. I should have told you his number changed.
I won't forget it. 99 is pretty easy to remember. Oh, Wonder defense holds here. They'll take over. They're 25. Option out this time. And Peoples shakes one tackle, gets out to about the 28.
You know, Randy, if there has been one trademark over the years of Concord defenses, it's that it's been very difficult to get the corners on them and outrun them and sweep around them. You might run at them, you might pass over them, but to run that sweep on Concord has always been very, very tough.
And he broke a tackle and he still only picked up, what, 3 yards? Not going to get too rich on those plays tonight. Out of the shotgun, Franklin, quarterback keeper. Out to the 30, maybe the 33-yard line. It'll still bring up 3rd and long. Well, years ago, you used to have a guy named E.Z. Smith chasing you. And I understand Little Z got to start in Penn State's game last week on that offensive line.
And they beat Nebraska, right? No, not Nebraska.
Yeah, they beat Nebraska.
Yeah, and you don't just go to Penn State as a redshirt freshman and start unless you've got something.
Well, you know, his daddy been telling Joe Paterno, you need to start him, get this winning streak going. Well, they've turned it around this year, haven't they? Franklin, upfield complete. 1st down, Wonders up to the 44-yard line. And making the catch looks like Derek Williams.
And there was nice pressure from Reggie Lee straight up the middle though, Randy. Franklin stands in there and delivers the ball, then takes a pop. And that makes Mr. Franklin 7 for 7. Watch the hit. Watch 55. Right at the end of the play. And that's just... Franklin, Randy, has a strong arm. He's delivered tight spirals right on the money.
And Reggie Lee in his face. Now that's that character builder right there. And whistles before the play gets underway. 6:26 left in the first half.
What an impressive start, though, for Franklin, Randy. Need to mention again, it's only his 2nd start.
Here's the call. Illegal procedure against the Wonders.
Ron Massey has just got to be...
You see the sideburns there? There's a couple of extra gray hairs popping out.
But his team is off to a great start here, but man, 7 penalties now for 65 yards.
Now they'll face it 1st and 15 at their 39-yard line. Shotgun again for Franklin. Pressure coming up the middle. He'll go deep. What a catch by Galarza. 1st down inside the 25-yard line. There were bodies all over the place, and he turned around and was looking for the football, wasn't he?
Yeah, and right up the middle, right in Franklin's face one more time is Reggie Lee. Stands in there again. Galarza makes an adjustment and makes a fine catch. Watch this, 55. Pow. And now watch Galarza. See him make the adjustment and get in front of the defender? Excellent play. We told you beforehand, he's exciting.
Once again to the air, it will be Williams bobbled for a moment, but tucked it in at the 17-yard line. A lot of gold shirts in the area as well. Hunter Porsche over there wrapped him up. Kannapolis going to the air attack, and now that set up that run as they're in that red zone. Another one right now before halftime would be awful huge. 3 receivers split to the big side this time. Franklin rolls, goes over the middle. What a catch! That's the 3rd touchdown reception of the night for Russell. What a set of hands on that one.
Randy, the Concord defender had him blanketed. He was all over him. Russell just reached over him and plucked it out of the sky.
17-yard touchdown reception.
And Franklin, Randy, is 10 for 10.
Well, whatever he ate at the pregame meal, don't change it next week. Louder now on to attempt the extra point. This one sails into the night. And with 5:14 to go in the first half, the Wonders are cruising 21-0. For the Wonders, as it's now 21-0. It's been Franklin to Russell show tonight. 3 touchdown passes for that combination. This one dribbled down at about the 5-yard line. Williams trying to pick a hole, and the Wonder coverage will get him down at about the 20-yard line.
Well, Randy, this Kannapolis offense has put up some points this year, as we said earlier, but they haven't been this efficient in quite some time. They are mixing their plays well, and Franklin is on the money.
He's getting great protection, but a couple of these, they got to him, and he still completed it. Watch this.
He got hit hard twice on this drive, but look at that strike, and just robbing it out of the air was Russell. I mean, he flat took it away.
A little over 5 minutes to go in the first half, slipping as he tried to make his cut as Williams out across the 21-yard line. Concord still has time to get down and get some points, and that's kind of crucial right now.
But the key thing, Randy, we saw a nice drive from them last time, but they couldn't come away with points, and that's been the problem for them this year.
1 turnover with the interception set up the first Kannapolis touchdown. And now on 2nd and 9, Franklin gives it to the big fullback, and he'll get about 5 that time.
Inside 4.5 minutes in the first half. And we've got some great entertainment coming up at the half, huh?
Yeah, me and you are going to get out there and get in the tuba section, maybe.
I hear television's clicking off all over the county.
No, we're just fooling.
We didn't mean to scare the kids or anything. It's going to be bands, real musicians.
That's right. Talented bands.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
3rd and short.
Is the ball loose? No whistles have blown and no flags have come out.
Yeah, that looked like a rugby. What do you call that?
Rugby scrum.
Scrum.
It looked like there was a missed exchange, and part of the Concord line moved and part didn't. And the whistles didn't blow. The players kind of froze for a second, then everybody started chasing the ball.
Easy Smith, that kind of tells it all. And the arms crossed over there, says, well, I'm dealing with 15, 16, 17-year-old teenagers here. And guys, you know better.
Well, they have skills, Randy. They're just young and inexperienced, and Kannapolis looks like they're finding themselves tonight.
Here's the punt. And they'll get away from it. Kannapolis will have great field position again at their 41-yard line. Still 3:14 to go in the first half. And the way Mr. Franklin's clicking off the passes, they might try to get another one on the board here.
They might if the opportunity presents itself, but you sure don't want to risk getting Concord back in it.
Well, while we're talking rivalries, let's talk about this one. Saprolan and Kannapolis will get together for their 42nd consecutive year next week.
Isn't that something that they've been battling that long? And You think anybody in the immediate area would want to trade gate receipts with Kannapolis this year?
There's some small colleges that like to have the gates.
Yeah.
Franklin to the air, short side, complete upfield for about maybe the 48-yard line that time.
Well, you were right, Randy. Coach Massey is clearly not going to just put it in the deep freezer here.
Well, you go back to his first game when they were cruising going into the fourth quarter, like 27-6 against North Rowan, and I don't guess you can get too many points and get too comfortable with a young team because anything can happen. And North almost come back all the way on that game. Here's the draw, and a nice run down to the Concord 42-yard line.
Some Spiders bumped him, Randy, but nobody really wrapped him up and got him down until he had pulled about 10 or 15 yards. It's Artis Butler. Look at him. Just keeps the legs working, and finally they get him down. Timeout.
Well, that'll stop the clock with 2:37 left in the first half. Kannapolis in control right now, leading by 3 touchdowns. Memorial Stadium, the 72nd Battle for the Bell. Randy Whitley along with Woody Canyon, the entire Metro 7 production staff. Delighted to be here tonight. It is first down and 10. Franklin to the air. Going deep, got a receiver behind the secondary, and it will be another touchdown. This time it will be Ricky Audrey, or excuse me, correction, Derek Williams. If you'd have guessed Josh Russell, you'd have been wrong that time. 4th touchdown pass of the night for Franklin.
Randy, coming into this game, Franklin was 9 of 25 with 3 interceptions and 1 touchdown. Tonight, he's 12 for 12, 222 yards, and 4 touchdown passes.
He's
in the first half.
Already surpassed his total passing yardage for the entire year, plus some here in the first half. Louder on for his 4th extra point attempt. And Chase has been perfect in that category tonight. 2.5 minutes to go. It's all wonders. They've got it rolling. 28-0. Well, if they would exchange the bell right now, there's no doubt about it. We still got a full half of football to go, Woody.
They really do, Randy, but Concord has got to find some offense. Kannapolis' offense has exploded.
Once again, Louder kicks it into the end zone for a touchback, and that is a weapon in itself.
That's like having 2 extra defenders on the field, Randy. No way they're going to return it on you if you keep doing that, and that's impressive in its own right.
Let's watch this touchdown pass again.
He just gets completely behind the defense. I think they were looking for the little short pass out in the flat, and look here, he just runs behind everybody.
41 yards.
Somebody missed rotating over on that one, but my goodness, I mean, he was 5 or 10 yards behind the defense.
Like your Concord right now, you don't want to risk a turnover here before the half and make it almost impossible here as they'll go with the run. The fullback gets the call and punished at about the 23-yard line. That's a lot of beef on both sides of the ball down there.
The interesting thing now, Randy, will be that Kannapolis' defense will be able to play a little bit more aggressively. They won't have to worry that one play can turn this game around. With a 4-touchdown lead, they can really get after it and be aggressive and pursue.
All right, Howie running the football. Good gracious. 265 in the backfield. I don't want to try to stop it.
No.
Williams trying to bounce outside. No go that time. The Wonders led by number 46, Jimmy Gonzalez. They're waiting.
220-pound junior on the defensive front, Randy, and he just blows through and shuts the play down. Look, he's not having any of it.
Well, actually, you look also, number 99 had things contained on the corner, so that enables the other guys to come in and make some important tackles. 1:44 left before halftime. Concord has called a timeout, down 28-0. As Easy onto the field to talk to his Chargers. Back in a minute. As we return, it's 3rd and 10, and Franklin to pass. Shoots it out to the sidelines, overthrows the intended receiver. And it'll be a punting situation once again for the Spiders. And
That was a really critical play, Randy, because the clock stops and Kannapolis is going to have enough time to take another shot here if they want. They're probably going to wind up with pretty good field position.
depending on the kick and the return. There you see still a long time. Quan back at about the 10-yard line. Kannapolis peels for the return. Galarza is the return man. He'll get a chance, bobbles it, picks it up. Now looking for a blocking wall, and it sets up pretty nice. Down the sidelines, Galarza, the kicker to beat. He will score, but it might come back. That was pretty to watch, but a flag upfield at about the 25-yard line, and one of the officials is waving them all back.
Boy, and that, Randy, that flag was dropped inside the 30-yard line, so well after he had made his move. Probably going to be a clip, a block in the back, indeed.
Sometimes, how many times you see a receiver or a punt returner or kickoff returner bobble the ball and then all of a sudden kind of turn what you call danger into a touchdown, a big play?
It makes the defense hesitate for a beat, Randy, and they think ball's on the ground instead of worrying about tackling the man. Let's see if we can pick up the clip. That's awful close if that was it. It had to be somewhere more toward the middle of the field. That's where the flag was.
Here you see Galarza. They showed us a little speed on the corner.
Now, the flag didn't come down there. The flag came much further down the field, so...
You see the guy waving him. I'm sure he wouldn't have made it to the end zone if he hadn't had that help there.
Well, he might have forgotten what direction to go. That way, that way.
Moving all the way back to the Kannapolis 48-yard line with a penalty. Franklin quarterback draw will get about a yard out of it. Over there waiting was big Reggie Lee for the Spider defense.
Well, this Kannapolis offense has blossomed here tonight, and they look like they want more points, Randy.
No huddle. 4 wide receivers. Franklin, slant, drop behind him. Had Ardrey open at about the 40-yard line, and he forgot to tuck it away.
First miscue passing for Kannapolis tonight makes them 12 of 13.
Not really.
They should have had it.
Yeah, that's not the quarterback's fault. That's a drop. We'll call that a drop, right?
Ardrey, I think, would tell you he makes that catch most of the time, and
well, they might
like to have it back.
They
Yeah.
might go back to him. 3rd and 9. They're going to give it to Peoples. He's running for some daylight and will be close to the first down marker, depending on the spot. Looks from here, it might be just a tad shy.
Clock still ticking. Inside 45 seconds to go now, Randy, but Peoples just lowers the shoulder, runs through some tackles, and keeps fighting downfield.
I'm going to say about a yard, but, well, did not get a good spot there. It is 4th down at a yard. Obviously, the Wonders going, and they may not have to earn it on the field. I think Concord jumped defensively. It looked like Howie came across the line.
Yeah, big number 71 took a step and got in that neutral zone. You don't get the chance to get back and start over in high school.
That'll give the Wonders a first down with now 26 seconds left in the first half.
And already, Franklin has shown you he can throw it this far easily with accuracy. You saw Howie step across right there.
Well, he's got time for a couple of plays here with this much time on the clock, but I believe it's everybody go deep.
Yeah, they may have time for 4 plays here.
Concord rushing for Franklin. Ball tipped, intercepted by the Spiders right over the middle. And that will thwart this scoring effort. And we'll pick up the Spider defender when we can find him.
He's in there. Randy, it looks like it's
23.
Walters. And that's his 2nd interception of the year.
Kevin Walters played it perfectly right over the middle. And showed us some good hands there. We'll get a chance to watch it again. Here you see Franklin right over the middle, and there's popped it up, held on to it. Now Concord with 16 seconds takes over at their own 38-yard line.
Another case that never saw him. The receiver coming from the outside, defender coming from the inside.
They go on the draw. Out to about the 41-yard line. I think Z and the Spiders just content. Nope, I thought they were going to let it run out, but you can't carry those timeouts over, so might as well use them. With 7 seconds remaining here in the first half, Spiders call the timeout. They'll have it 2nd down at about 7 when that play resumes. 28-0 our score. It's been the Franklin to Russell show. The air attack of the Wonders has been awesome tonight.
It really has, and we mentioned again, Franklin, not much experience. Drew Marr goes down with the severe leg injury in the North Rowan game, the season opener. Kannapolis used Andrew Mead some, used Franklin some, and now decided to stick with Franklin this week, and he's rewarding the coaches for their confidence in him. And Concord, their defense had only given up 7 points in the past 2 weeks. Now they've allowed 4 touchdowns in the first half.
So with everybody deep on this play, 3 wide receivers as Franklin trying to draw them in. Now we'll throw it deep on the fly and overthrows everybody. Peoples back defending, and I thought that might have used all the time up. Phillips, the intended receiver for Concord, but there is 1 tick remaining.
Well, wind it up and heave it down there again.
Why not?
Yeah, what have you got to lose? You're 4 touchdowns behind. There's no point in...
So many times you see a defender fall down, slip, trying to make a cut.
May get a penalty.
The defensive penalty, yeah. Just asked Cleveland.
Wow, was that something?
Ask Mr. Rudd.
Yeah.
Whose name might be Mr. Mudd. You know what the headline said? Here's Franklin with some pressure. Will go deep. And this one overthrown into the Concord sidelines. And that will do it. It's been all Wonders in the first half. They lead it at the break, 28-0. Back in Memorial Stadium getting ready for the second half. 28-0. The Wonder passing attack leading the way, as will be reflected in some of those halftime statistics as we take a look at the tape.
Well, first downs relatively even, ground attack relatively even, but look at that, 222-0 through the air. That's the big story. It shows up in the total yardage as well. Kannapolis piling up some penalties, however. That might concern Coach Massey a little bit as we head toward this second half here, but boy, all the things we talked about as keys are coming up Concord's, or rather Kannapolis' way. The Wonder defense, which one will show up? They're pitching a shutout so far. Ball control. Kannapolis has had 4 scoring drives. They haven't had the ball that much longer than Concord. A slight edge there in terms of time of possession. But the real story, quarterbacks. How about Franklin for Kannapolis, Randy? He's 13 of 15 for 222 yards and 4 touchdown passes in the first half.
And only had 162 yards and 1 touchdown coming into tonight's game. So it's been him to Russell 3 times for a touchdown. And those guys just about unstoppable in that connection here tonight. And to make matters worse, if you're a Concord Spider supporter, you got to kick the ball off here in the second half to the Wonders. E.Z. Smith, what do you say? Hey, we made some mistakes, some good athletic plays really on both ends. Not bad pass defense, just maybe a case of I want it more than you. I don't know.
On 2 of the touchdowns for Kannapolis, a Concord defender was right there. On that last one, Kannapolis just flat ran behind the coverage and somebody lost him.
We're ready to get the second half underway. Alex Kwan will come forward. This is like an onside kick here. And Concord says they've got it. Let's see. Anything to change the momentum if you're a Concord Spider. That'll be Kannapolis retaining possession. But hey, not a bad try if you're E.Z. Smith.
Yeah, I wonder almost though if that was an accident or not. No, he was trying. You're right.
There you see it. One guy in the green shirt covered it, but he fought for that possession. There are about 8 yellow shirts on top, or gold shirts on top of him.
That's not a bad call though, Randy. You know, right out of the gate like that, you have to be thinking, if you're Kannapolis, they're going to kick it deep, and here we go.
Now you need possessions if you're Concord.
But now you got to ask your defense to really stand up here.
Kannapolis will get great field position at their own 46-yard line. And a little hold up here now as Brandon Franklin back there talking to the referee says, what are we waiting on here?
It's not a TV timeout, we promise.
Have they got a chain problem over there? Well,
they're all looking over there.
Yeah, that's the only thing it could be.
The chain's tangled up.
Well, got to give the chain crew some credit. They do a great job. But
Look, E.Z. Smith's over there helping them unravel it.
he says, okay, now listen, this is the chain we're going to use when we're on offense.
They probably got that thing wrapped around Paul Dry's leg over there, and that's what got it all tangled up.
Not a bad idea. But Paul's probably supervising this.
Ah, the boys in the truck at it again.
Don't you know?
Yeah. All of them right now, you can't read their lips, but they're saying, Paul, don't ever do that again. he's laughing over there now.
A picture is worth...
That might be the first time we've ever had an extended timeout for the chain gang.
Well, Paul's got to get that airtime.
Yeah,
I'm sure he knows the reason.
it's in his contract. All right, back to the game.
Brandon Franklin under center. There they'll give it to Peoples. And he's got a huge hole up the middle into the secondary, spinning down inside the Concord 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Wonders. Peoples has done a good job on the ground tonight. Most of the rushing yards have been on the back of number 6.
Looks like Blair Troutman, the sophomore, makes the tackle here, but big hole up the middle. Excellent job of sealing it off by the Wonders, and finally they drag him down.
Well, if you're Coach Massey and his coordinators, you say, well, the passing is maybe going to open up the run here in the second half. Got enough points. Let's take a little time off the clock. And here we go again. Peoples trying to get outside. Got him by the jersey. Couldn't get away. And leading the way was number 71, Mr. Howie.
And Randy, he threw off a block and still had time to chase Peoples down. That was an impressive play. Watch 71 fight off the block here, and he's got the ball carrier by one hand while he's fighting off the block with the other.
He and Jacob Searcy. He had Jake in one hand
and Peoples' jersey in the other.
Yeah.
Now you've accomplished something when you can take on two at once like that.
I'm impressed, I want to tell you. 2nd and 12. Franklin will go to the air this time. Little out and too wide open perhaps for Justin Galarza.
Randy, it looked like he had his feet planted, started to take a step toward the ball, and one of his feet slipped over there.
Well,
he didn't get a push toward the ball.
Once again, that is not the quarterback's fault. We had a drop and an interception by Franklin in the first half. He missed only 2 passes. That one, a catchable ball as well. Talk about momentum. We talked about it on the pregame show. Well, Franklin is feeling it tonight. Here he rolls right on 3rd and long. Unloads, overthrown inside the 10-yard line. Going for the home run ball, intended receiver Derek Williams, who will be a good one here his senior season. 6'1", had it all stretched out and couldn't quite get there.
And he was becoming a favorite target for Franklin, Randy, before tonight when he discovered Russell. Boy, and he really got some zip on that ball out toward the sidelines, throwing it across his body like that.
This, am I correct, will this be the first punt tonight or only the second punt by Kannapolis? Andrew Meade in the punt. Oh, it's a fake, and it will be Franklin. And he'll be stopped short of the first down. It was 4th and 12, and just maybe as good as a punt.
Yeah, well, you gotta keep an eye when he's in the backfield, Randy. You know he's dangerous. He can either run or throw when they snap it directly to him, and that'll keep Concord alert and maybe put a little bit of pressure on those returns in the future because they'll have to keep an eye on him.
Concord will start at their own 36-yard line. Kind of a luxury. Usually they've been starting at their own 20. They did a lot in the first half. Trying to get outside and breaks one, but the wave of Kannapolis catches up to Williams.
And Concord, Randy, starting the second half with a new quarterback, Tommy Beecher, the sophomore in there, 6'2", 185-pounder, number 12.
Maybe trying to shake things up a little bit. Here you see Williams looked inside, stiff-armed one man, and then paid the price. Reeves finished the tackle, but it looked like
Weeks was there as well, and he's having a big game.
Oh, he is. Actually, they're going to say no game, moving up front on the Concord offense. There we see the inexperience perhaps showing up, Woody.
Well, they do have a couple of veterans along that offensive line in Newsom and Shue, but the rest are new in terms of playing experience.
a lot of sophomores in this Concord lineup. As they would say, maybe 2 or 3 starting at the year, and now they've got a bunch more.
See that?
And a different quarterback. Also, the cadence maybe a little.
Well, he's probably not going on cadence. See, he'll lift his foot, and that's the signal to go. He's probably not calling out a cadence from back there.
Beecher throws complete, 40-yard line, and that's where the play will die. And for Beecher, unofficially, I believe that might be his first reception of the season.
And that is the first completion of the game for Concord. That was to Eric Laird, number 8. Watch him here. Just sits down, got behind the defender who missed him, ran too far to the outside, and he found the seam.
Laird, one of their top 3 receivers on the season, coming in. He had 3 catches. On 3rd down and 7, Beecher lines him down out of the eye. Looking, picking the hole, and it's a big one. First down into under territory at the 47-yard line. That was some crisp blocking on that offensive front.
One of the Spider linemen is hurt down there, but a nice run by Williams that time, Randy. He has excellent footwork.
And we'll watch the replay. Look at it open up in front of him.
And watch him keep his feet moving here. Watch him just pick his holes and just kind of glide through, turning his body, using the angles. That's excellent.
And it gives Concord a new set of downs to work with as we go inside 9 minutes, 3rd period. 28-0. Kannapolis with 3 scores in the 2nd quarter alone. To get a little breathing room here in this battle for the bell. Beecher fires, and coming back on the football, they say incomplete. Looked like Monroe. Thought he may have had it, but they said he tracked it.
Yeah, that was awful close. And there was some pretty heavy pressure, Randy, on Beecher here. Look at this. Stands in there and delivers it. Boy, that's up. Oh, I see. He's picking it up off the ground at the end of the play. Watch the pressure here. There were arms and shoulder pads and face masks all in his way.
Still got a pretty good ball. Flight looking good. Beecher fires on the slant, complete, spun around after about a 5-yard gain that time. It was Hames on the catch. So some of these receivers getting some action ahead of those top 3 receivers. He, Lard, and Phillips have the most catches on the season. So Concord moving it with the air attack right now. Down to the Wonder 41, they have it 3rd and 4.
Well, we said they needed to hit some of those to open things up, Randy, and it's working for them right now.
They'll have 3 wide receivers out of the shotgun this time for Beecher and company. Rolls to buy some time, forced out of the pocket. They'll trip him as he tried to cut upfield. Looked like 72 was there, and that was Matt Jordan. Got him by the ankles.
The senior just reached up as Beecher tried to step over him and was able to get enough of the leg to get him down. Watch. Beecher sees room, but right there, Jordan reached up and got the ankle.
Definitely felt the pressure from the outside and did the smart thing. Stepped up, was going to try to maybe run for that first down, but instead it'll be 4th down. They still need now 7 yards. Line to make the 38 of the Wonders. 1 back set. Time. Incomplete. Through the fingertips of the intended receiver, Eric Lard.
He was right there, Randy. Had his hands on it. Laird's got to reel that one in. That time he was in position for the first down. But some more pressure that time for Beecher. He did a good job of stepping up to avoid it. But Laird couldn't hang on.
I feel like there's all kinds of holding going on here. Watch.
Yeah,
there's a hold.
Yeah, sure was.
I mean, that wasn't a hold. That might have been a public monkey there or something.
And you saw Laird grab his face mask after that one went through.
Well, Wonder offense back onto the field after Concord expires on downs at the 45-yard line with 7:09 left in the 3rd period. Quick toss, Galarza looking, and the Spiders do contain, and they will drop him for a loss back near the 41-yard line.
Boy, and a host of gold jerseys in on that, Randy. Again, it's awful tough to run on a Concord defense around the ends like that. They may be young, they may be inexperienced, but one thing they do have, good speed, good pursuit.
And Howie, the first guy there, 265, 5'11", a senior, has been to that well many, many times.
Colson was in on that one as well, so good pursuit all up and down the line for Concord.
A loss of 3 on the play. Well, actually, we'll say 4. 2nd and 14. 4 wide this time. Franklin keeps it on the quarterback keeper down the sidelines. And once he gets about 2 steps, he's at full speed, Woody, and he is a big guy to bring down.
But what a good job by Randy Sloot pulling on that one. Big old number 76 is 302 pounds. Watch him protecting his quarterback here. Look at that. Now that's a corner to run around.
Good gracious, that's a major escort, wasn't it?
Yeah, that is a convoy in one body right there.
Traffic jam waiting to happen.
Yep. All you need to do is give that speed guy enough room to turn the corner. You don't have to put a guy on his back. You just have to get in the way.
It's 3rd down and 6. Play fake. Franklin over the middle. Pops it complete. And it'll be short, I believe, on the spot. Making the reception that time. Number 16, Artis Butler, who's made some big catches out of the backfield. Looked like Ligon on the tackle for Concord.
Kannapolis has tried several times to set up this little screen right over the middle, Randy. Almost ran into the referee there.
Got one of the officials. Nice screen on his part there, inadvertently. 4th and less than a yard. Kannapolis selects to go for it here. Now they'll come back out of the shotgun. Franklin sets his backfield. They may have had some illegal procedure because they clock showed 6 seconds left, so it wasn't delay a game.
Yep. The flags came out like fall leaves on that one, and Coach Massey can't believe it. His team, that's about the only thing they've done wrong tonight is pile up some penalties. They've got 8 penalties for 70 yards right now.
Well, with 4th down and 6 looking at them, they'll bring in the junior punter, Andrew Meade.
Still some time for Concord, but watch it again here. They need to get some points in this 3rd quarter somehow if they're going to make a run.
Kind of a low snap, almost a block. Meade high. Concord says, get away from it. One of the guys out there taking charge for Concord. One of the up guys says, get away from this thing. He alerted all his teammates because I've seen that happen a couple of times in some of the college games this year.
Big old Josh Smith, Randy, busted right up the middle on that one and darn near got himself a punt block. The 216-pound junior, number 77, was all over the Kannapolis punt that time and altered it if he didn't get a finger on it.
Concord's offense will take over at their 33-yard line with the clock showing 4:45 to go. Still, Beecher in at quarterback for his 2nd series here. Good protection this time upfield, and it's a catch.
Randy.
Double teamed that time. Heavy pressure, and holding on to it is Balin Monroe.
The junior took it away from 2 Kannapolis defenders. Peoples was out there and had 2 hands on it. Watch this. Watch him just wrestle it away. They both got it here, and at the end, Monroe just wrestles it away.
Yeah, but
nice job.
Tie goes to the offensive guy, I think.
I guess. And Beecher is showing us some ability here for a sophomore, huh?
Looking pretty good on the passing. Out of the shotgun again. They'll give it to the lone running back. Williams tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Little or no gain. 72 over there defensively, Matt Jordan. So we'll bring up 3rd down. They need to get just over the 43 to get a new set of downs. Beecher.
And here comes big old Jermaine Caldwell.
Well, that might be your 3 yards.
There he is, number 31, 270 pounds.
I thought we saw some big guys last week when we did South and West. Man.
We'll see some big guys next week when South comes in here.
Well, it's going to be the quarterback keeper in Kannapolis. Stay home on the corners, led by number 42. Actually, Josh Reeves there and Jamal Weeks. And it'll be a punting situation. Quan getting a workout tonight. We'll have to kick it back.
Classic case of staying home on defense for Kannapolis. You see, actually, you're right, Randy. I thought Reeves had gotten in there, but that play was all Weeks. And he is having a huge game, isn't he?
Man, I tell you what, I don't know how many unassisted tackles he's had tonight. Kannapolis comes with some pressure, and they force a short punt. This will net out, no return, and a late flag will net out at about 7 yards.
And that may have been some jawing going on over there, Randy. The Kannapolis players are reacting like it might be on them. The play was over with when the official threw the flag. Ineligible against Concord, no.
Now, Kannapolis obviously wants the football. They'll decline that penalty, but only a 7-yard punt. And they didn't get the block, but it was the next best thing, the pressure.
Seems like in a lot of games this year, Randy, we've seen a good number of shanks, more than normal, doesn't it?
Yeah, watch this.
Yeah, I think he just got it too far up his leg. He didn't get it out toward his toe.
Guy was coming right up the middle. He did pick him up, but not by much. Now Kannapolis with that 4-wide out offense onto the field. And Franklin pops it out to Peoples out of the backfield. Around the corner, he's got 10, 15, 20 out of bounds. A little speed once Peoples got moving. It was Porch on the tackle for Concord.
And Porch was the last hope, Randy. Just a little flick, just a little screen out here to Peoples, and he races around the end, uses his speed to get the corner turned. You might not be able to run around Concord's defense with a toss sweep, but the ball goes a lot faster on a pass, and he had enough speed to get the corner that time.
He spread the defense out with 4 wide outs and go to the running back. First down and 10 at the 27. A little out again, complete, and out of bounds. And
That's Russell.
Yeah, I was saying no flag there. Russell, one of the few passes he has caught tonight that has not resulted in a touchdown.
2.5 to go here in the third quarter.
It'll move it down to about the 19-yard line of Concord.
And now Kannapolis has some options, Randy. Only second down. They can take a shot at the end zone here and still have 2 plays to try and grind out a first down.
Keep an eye on that guy with the number 22 on his back. Now, how about number 9? Franklin up the middle, inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line. That'll work.
Impressive showing, Randy, by this guy all night. He's doing it with his arm, he's doing it with his legs, and he's doing it with his head. He has really come into his own in this game. Nice execution on the fake to make him think pass, then take off. And now here, it's just will.
And you see how hard it is to bring down that big body. First and goal, Wonders at the 5-yard line. Right side, no signal. Gonna be close. There's the touchdown. Carried in is that young man, number 20. Galarza, a 6'1", 179-pound junior. And Kannapolis with their 5th touchdown of the night. Caps a 50-plus drive, 50-yard-plus drive. Now Louder on to try to make it 5 of 5 in the PATs, and this one is good, but a flag is dropped at the line of scrimmage. And we'll discuss all that. Here's a signal from our referee. The illegal procedure, and now it will be 5 yards deeper.
Well, since they missed it, I was thinking...
Actually, you back them up 5. It's actually a better...
It must have been dead ball. Yeah, it must have been... It's not relevant whether or not the field goal actually was missed.
Actually, it's a better angle, really, for your place kicker. You're 5 yards back further. Here we go again. This one's long enough. And she's through. Clock shows 1:56 left. Third quarter. All Wonders right now.
That young lady just didn't know what she was getting into there.
I tell you what, you talk about the minds of innocent young people. And bless her
She
heart.
was just trying to be nice, but boy, it makes all of us cringe.
This one going down to about the 14-yard line. Our first return of the night for Concord as Louder has been kicking it into the end zone. And the Spiders will start at their own 27-yard line this offensive series.
Boy, if she only knew.
I guess there's just a very select group of individuals who get that kind of treatment, Woody.
Yeah, well, if she saw him, it wouldn't be hot dog, it would be new Doug.
Whoa, that's a good retort. I like that. There will be another game, Doug, so watch out.
Beecher stays in at quarterback here, Randy.
1:46 to go, third period. Single set. Williams fighting for a couple. Or check it. It was not him, it was Howie who was running the football. He's going both ways tonight. 35-0. Kannapolis with their first rushing touchdown a while ago of the night. Play fake. Beecher looking. Picked. Coming the other way will be Josh Steele. Touchdown. So the defense has picked it up a notch.
Unbelievable, Randy. Concord just cannot get anything going offensively at all.
That one maybe telegraphed a little bit, Woody.
Yeah, I think you're right. He looked at it all the way, looked only to his right, never looked off left, and followed his man all the way. That's the problem a young quarterback often finds himself in.
So Josh Steele, one of the linebackers, the 5'10", 170-pound senior, not only gets an interception, but gets 6 points out of it. And now Louder is going to have to ice the leg before this night is over. The extra point man.
Illegal motion on the ambulance back there.
Yeah, they're going to get them 5 yards.
It's like somebody standing back there waving their arms, isn't it?
Yeah, right now the linesman is.
All right.
I believe they had a problem with one of the spectators may have been injured over there. The reason the ambulance in that area, they're just trying to get out of the horseshoe area now.
It's going to be against Concord, so move it a little closer, half the distance here. Randy, roughly what yard line did Steele get that one on? About the 30? Had to be a little further out than that.
Yeah.
Kannapolis is going to decline it, looking for that better angle that you talked about a moment ago.
May have got it around the 35 or 40, somewhere in that area. Here's the extra point try again by Chase Louder, and it's through again. 1:04 left. Kannapolis 42, Concord nothing. Unless a miracle occurs.
There you go. I was wondering if anybody was going to go high mom.
You know, we've had Mom and High Doug, so this one, is it out of bounds or did it get into the end zone?
Nobody has touched it. Okay. Yeah. It must have bounced on the line over there. Well, with just over a minute to go in the third, Randy, I think you were starting to say it's going to require something close to a miracle now.
Well, I believe the bell will go back on the Kannapolis possession for another year.
Here we go. Take a look again at the interception. I believe he's going to be around the 37-yard line or so. Yeah, right there. Picks it off and off to the races. He just stepped up, and that's about the third time tonight we've seen a quarterback make a pass where he didn't read the middle of the field properly.
Williams breaks a tackle. Got maybe 3 out of it. On the tackle, looked like Travis Howie. You got Howies on both sides of the defensive front tonight. We got 2 Franklins. We got 2 Howies.
And we got 2 quarterbacks named Franklin, indeed. One Leonard, one Brandon, even though that has changed.
Yeah. Inside 30 seconds to go, third period. Easy Smith. Just one of those nights. He's been through this Concord-Kannapolis battle a lot of years. 23 as a head coach. And at least 3, I'm not sure if they didn't let freshmen play in high school, but
Probably not
as a player. So that's 25 we know of.
And how about Jeremy Ryan was telling Steve Ganther in the interview before the game that this is his 7th or 8th, and he couldn't believe how quickly the time had gone by.
Well, I can't believe this is our 21st year of football coverage on Time Warner Cable.
Unbelievable.
I mean, some of the earlier players we used to cover are now gone on. They got grandkids.
Well, wait a minute now.
Well, maybe.
Some may.
You know,
It's going to be the end of the quarter.
Yep, that's going to be it. 3 are in the books here at Memorial Stadium. It's been the Wonders. And a big whooping tonight, 42-0.
Time Warner Cable, Metro Channel 7, committed to great community programming.
As you see, a lot of crowd still remaining here for this one. And there's Drew Marr talking. And Drew says, hey, I told Franklin he's followed instructions perfectly tonight.
He has come into his own tonight, Randy. You see him getting a lot more confidence out there and feeling more comfortable. And meanwhile, Concord picks up the first down.
You were saying in the pregame that Drew was saying that he's wanting to get back.
That's what we heard, that he's talking about trying to come back before the end of the year. Everybody had said it was a season-ending injury, but he's believing that if he keeps working hard, he'll be able to come back. That would be something if he can do that.
Well, if anybody can, that young man obviously has that opportunity. But now he can become still a big part of this team, one of those leaders on the sidelines. Kind of want that extra coach over there now. Pass complete, down to the Wonder 49-yard line. Concord pretty much exclusively in the air right now was Dexter Hames making the catch.
Just a little quick slant, Randy, there, and trying to move downfield, keep the chains going. Concord has to be able to take something positive away from this game offensively. They just have not been able to put points on the board.
3 wide receivers split to the bottom. They go to the big fullback. Oh, that'll get you a first down. Down to the 41-yard line.
Randy, big old Jermaine Caldwell is a load. He's just running over. See, you always know you got a good fullback when he comes back to the huddle pulling his britches up, you know? Just,
those big britches, too, 270
I tell you now. Get all down there in the dirt and grass and act like a fullback.
Although he's the lone sit back there. Hey, that worked good. Let's see if we can do it again. Yep, they play fake it. There's Beecher on the roll. Keeps it. Got him by the jersey, but he did get something positive down to the Wonder 34-yard line.
And a pretty nice block by Caldwell after he got the ball faked to him. He stayed in there, delivered a good block to allow Beecher to turn. Watch. See that?
And Beecher showed us a little quickness on the corner there.
You had Travis Howie coming right up the middle there, and Caldwell was able to pick him up.
Second down, and they need 3 at the 34-yard line. Out of the gun, Beecher, complete. And holding on the football, Laird, he juggled it momentarily. Depending on the progress, I think he's going to be about a yard short.
He just kind of hesitated, Randy. The Concord team had flooded that side, and he just kind of hesitated while the others ran defenders off and found himself a little gap.
Meanwhile, the clock continues nearing the 9-minute mark here in the fourth period. Third short coming up. Beecher, hands off, bouncing. It looks like a pinball going through the line that time.
Look at him, Randy, making the pile go his way, though. Caldwell is a load. I mean, he must have gotten hit by 8 guys easy on that one and just kept making them go his way.
Well, they're going to bring him out for a rest. You better pull them britches up. Just turn about it. Let's see if he does it. Z-San, good job, young man. At the Wonder 24-yard line, first down and 10. toss. Williams is checked back in. Cuts it up. Kind of gets sandwiched there. Got about 2 out of it, maybe 3.
Well, you had Chris Friday, the tight end out there, Randy, the junior, and he found himself having to try and block 2 or 3 guys. He did a pretty good job for him to pick up something because he was outnumbered.
I go back to looking at that series where Concord was in the red zone in the first quarter, down early in the second quarter, it's down 14-0, and came away with nothing. That was a
Kannapolis is confused, Randy. They want timeout.
and they do get called. The clock shows 8:05 to go in the ball game.
I think they had too many men on the field. They made a substitution and were trying to get somebody off. They had 12 guys out there. The coaches saw it and were frantically signaling timeout.
Well, we talk about big guys on a football field. Let's talk about next week's ball game.
Yeah, we talked about a couple of 300-pounders for Kannapolis. Well, South Rowan has some 300-pounders of their own. We can talk about it Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Ron Massey from A.L. Brown and Rick Van Hoy from South Rowan will be our guest in the studio.
That game to be played next week here at Memorial Stadium. So get your seats early. There'll be a few folks here, I think, for that one as well.
Another big day for the concession stand. I understand they've got Frank from down at Concord Motorsport Park. He does the concessions there. He's doing them here at Memorial Stadium this year.
I saw his cart coming through the crowd, trying to get through the crowd at halftime. He had a policeman guarding the water behind the little cart. Hey, you know, can take
Whatever
every
it takes.
precaution. He's a veteran of the war, isn't he? Play fake. Out pattern complete to about the 15-16-yard line. Laird once again on the catch.
And Beecher, Randy, in spite of everything that's going on in this game, is showing us some pretty good skills. I'm sure Coach Smith probably told him, look, I don't expect you to be a hero. Just give me something solid. And he has for the most part. I think he's played pretty well.
Spotted just inside the 16, Woody. It'll be 3rd and 3. And there's our turf camp.
We spare no expense.
Speaking of big guys, check out 73 on the Concord offensive line. I haven't mentioned him much tonight. Corey Thompson tips in at 325.
There's some big guys. Remember when 250 pounds was a pretty big guy? And Eric Laird's getting some help with the helmet there from the referee, making sure everything is adjusted right.
Woody, 250 still is a pretty big guy. It's just that.
Yeah, but remember when that was the upper limit of guys you would see.
Oh, yeah. Bigger, faster, stronger. Speaking of that, around the left side, inside the 5, down to the 2. It'll be 1st and goal as Eddie Bussell carries the football that time. First time he has been in. Had his number called tonight in the backfield. He's a 5'9" senior.
And Bussell, Randy, only 150 pounds, so they're going to take him out and bring in Caldwell. Watch him squirt around the end here and just turn on the jets. Look at that. Just finding the seam.
Had a good block there by Eric Lard that sprung him for about 5 or 6 more. Well, you think
that's where they got to go.
They got to go to the big appliance in the backfield here on 1st and goal, I bet you. Yep, Kannapolis was thinking that too. It stops him maybe for a yard loss. Andrew King on the tackle had some penetration into the Spider backfield.
Andrew read it from his linebacker spot. He had to be thinking heavy jumbo too and was there waiting on Caldwell at the hole.
The loss of 1. Back to the 3. 2nd down and goal. Clock shows now about halfway through the 4th period, nearing the 6-minute mark.
What do you think, Randy? Slam it up in there again?
Yeah, maybe. I would be surprised to see Beecher on the quarterback roll. He rolled, and he gave it to the running back, and they lost another yard.
Well, Kannapolis just won the war at the line of scrimmage that time, Randy. They had 2 guys at the point of attack before Concord could get the ball there.
You got a 270-pound running back. It's not hard to figure who's going to get it sometimes.
Right, but Kannapolis flowed exactly to the spot that play was designed to go.
Easy Smith has called a timeout to talk to his offense. They really need something positive out of this drive. We'll take a break as well with 6:02 left. as we return to Memorial Stadium. 3rd down and goal to the 4-yard line. Lee, as you said earlier, Concord needs to get something positive out of this drive. A little building momentum for next week. Play fake, and it will be a touchdown, Concord, on the quarterback roll by Mr. Beecher.
And it looked like he was going to be caught, Randy, but was able to lower the shoulder and get in. And there's the something positive the Concord offense has been looking for. That's the first points in over 7 quarters now for Concord.
Beecher with the keeper around the left side, and the Spiders on the board. And now will be Alex Kwan, the 5'6" junior place kicker, on to try to tack on another. That one low and sailing left. Did not make it. 5:55 left. Spiders on the board. Kannapolis still in control, 42-6. Not too many people left this one, not because they wanted to. Maybe they can't leave because of the traffic jam outside.
Wow, especially not on the Kannapolis sidelines. They're enjoying this after the way the season started. Lost 2 games in a row coming in here, and to be able to do this against their arch rival has to be making some fans happy.
Short kick out of bounds, and the penalty markers will fly. And Kannapolis will have the option. Obviously, you don't want them to kick it over. You're going to get it at the 40-yard line.
Concord will head down to Sun Valley next week, Randy, while, as we mentioned, Kannapolis will stay right here to host the Raiders.
Oh, Lord. Well, we had some fun in that playoff game last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Touchdown, Raiders.
Well, Kannapolis going to stick pretty much with the starters, looks like here.
And they see Justin Roberts in at a running back slot, number 37. And Franklin still in at quarterback. And it'll be the tailback out of the eye, and maybe a yard. Kannapolis playing it next to best. They're going to get the ball back. They're going to return the favor from the loss last year. And the series will go 37-31-4 and still in favor of Concord. And Kannapolis will even the record on the year, 2-2. And the Spiders will go to 1-4. Fullback bust out. Roberts cross midfield down to the Spider 45-yard line. Well, we've seen the fullback blast this year work to perfection on a lot of teams.
We really have. Roberts, a junior, 181 pounds, just blast right up the middle. Nice job here by Kannapolis. He wasn't touched until he was deep in the secondary.
And let's see, looks like Galarza checking back in to the backfield.
The Maytag repairman out there, the lonely guy guarding the bell.
In about 5 minutes, he's going to be, somebody's going to come over and take it away from him. You know, you got to have the proper credentials, though. We had to go through security to do the opening over there.
That's exactly right.
It's, I don't think getting to the Pentagon would be any harder.
Well, that was just a strange situation, the way that thing worked out last year, Randy. I mean, Kannapolis comes in, everybody talking about Andre Allison. He gets hurt early in the game. They had to argue with him to get him in the ambulance. And then it turns out Concord had an ineligible player. They turned themselves in, and the Bell's been in limbo ever since.
Right now, no doubt about it, this game this year, 42-6, Wonders on top with now 4:10 left, clock running. Franklin taking all the time he can off the play clock. Quick toss to Galarza, trying to get the corner turned. He does. And will be ridden out of bounds and about the 40-yard line of Concord across the far way. And thought it may have saw a late hit over there, but do not see a flag.
Wonder if maybe it was just some guys colliding with people who were out of bounds on the sidelines over there. Coach Massey giving the signal in to his offense.
Nice looking K sun visor he's wearing tonight. Maybe I get to you, he'll never take that one off if he gets 42 points every game.
Yeah.
Here's Galarza.
Boy, he is electric, isn't he? He's fun to watch.
Third down. The Wonders need 6. Trying to take some time down. And back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it for Artis Butler, the junior running back.
And Kannapolis starting to run some fresh bodies in and out of there now, but Franklin staying in. They want to get him some reps. Remember, this is only his second game as a starter. And they're going to have to depend on him for a while.
Well, like us and a lot of these maybe teams coming down to scout Kannapolis, they said only the second game as a starter. Good Lord, he looks like a seasoned veteran out there in the first half.
Yeah.
4th down and 5. Wonders obviously electing to go for it. And there's the flags. The illegal procedure is what Brandon Franklin's saying.
He's right.
You know, I guess quarterback kind of knows, don't he?
He had a good view of it, that's for sure.
Well, do you bring your punter on? No, you run. Yeah, here comes the special teams, and you do not.
Well, wait a minute now. The other offense is not leaving.
This will work, whatever. If they, whatever play they want. If they got 22 guys out there against 11, a good chance for success.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to bring. Okay, yeah, they're bringing the offense off. Concord doesn't have anybody back deep. And a nice kick by Meade. Hits and kind of dribbles down to about the 19-yard line. That's where the Spiders will take over with 2:21 left.
Well, let's see what Beecher can do here, Randy, as Kannapolis may have found an emerging star at quarterback tonight. Concord may be discovering Mr. Beecher.
Yeah. You know, you watch both teams grow up. We talked to, Easy's talking about it, Coach Massey talking about it. Youth. And the only way you can get experience is just get out there and take your licks and get those reps in. They watch a lot of these players coming to their own tonight. Out of the shotgun, Beecher steps up and will go deep. He's got a man behind the secondary and he dropped it. Had a touchdown, couldn't hold on. That was Haynes. I think he was too wide open, Woody.
He was, Randy, and you can see he's upset there. He was 10 yards behind the nearest defender. They just lost him. Watch this. Beecher has all the time. See, they think they've got deep help back there, but that was one of those I thought you had him plays. But he was as open as you can be.
Had to wait on the ball, too. And
well, you could see Andrew Baker there had him and released him thinking he had help behind him, but no one was home.
One of the best scoring chances off the fingertips that time for Concord. Now they'll go short side, a little out, up to about the 25, 26-yard line. Clock continues to run, down to 2 minutes left in this one.
Pretty nice grab by Monroe there, the junior. He's had a couple of nice catches, or one that we kind of thought was a catch, but turned out not to be.
Yeah, Balin didn't get credit for that one, did he? They'll flood the field receivers here on 3rd and 5.
Whoa,
And
look at the coaches over there.
I'm not sure who got that.
Pretty nice grab. It's all right, suit him up.
Coaches constantly coaching. Say, this is how you do it, guys.
That's right. Watch this now, over on the sidelines. Boy, there were coaches all. You see Clement Fleming, though, now he ducked.
Well, you know, he was so.
That's a veteran coach there. He knows you get out of the way when those young guys are coming running over there.
Well, he didn't want to take any of the glory away from those young kind of coaches, you know. The line drive punt. Kannapolis will not have anybody back to return, and it will be blown dead at the 26-yard line. Less than 90 seconds to go, and I'm looking over here at the bell area. It looks like there's some activity going on now, Woody.
Yeah, some people starting to creep over there now, but I think they'll probably let the team go down there and get it. There you go. Now, what kind of a costume is that guy got on there? Number 5. Is that a lampshade on his head? What's that all about?
That's the new look for the new millennium, I guess.
That's the bell tender's outfit.
He looks like a bell on his head, doesn't it?
Well, you got to have a special uniform for whatever you do. And
Yeah.
that's the bell tender uniform.
Yeah, the only thing that's scary is what kind of a clanger's under it,
Yeah. Now, Kannapolis probably going to just take a couple of knees. New quarterback in for the Wonders as well. It's Meade.
Yeah, this was Meade, who had a great game at North Rowan after, 12 plays when Marr went down with the broke leg. This young man stepped in and I think threw 3 touchdown passes against Cavaliers. And, tough spot for anybody.
Well, I think the one thing that Kannapolis is going to be happy with, I mean, granted they may have discovered an emerging star in Brandon Franklin at quarterback, Randy, but I think they're going to be really happy about the way their defense played tonight. They had not allowed fewer than 26 points coming into this game, and their defense stepped up tonight.
Grabbed the early momentum with the hot hand from Franklin to Russell. 3 touchdown passes between those 2 guys in the first half. And then it was virtually, they got over the hump and take a little of the pressure off in a big game like this. Ron Massey got to be thrilled, but I'm sure these coaches, they're always coaching 24 hours a day. They're going to find something in the films we'll work on next week. And penalties has been mighty the negative tonight.
Exactly. I think that's one thing he will be talking to his team about because they pile up quite a few penalties unofficially right now. We got them with 10 penalties for 80 yards.
Final play of the game about to come up, and is customary when another team wins, they'll have the usual exchange of the victory bell between the 2 teams, and you will see a great bit of sportsmanship on both sides because they have excellent coaching staffs and 2 fine young men, or a lot of fine young men on both sides as they will meet at the center of the field. The cheerleaders from A.L. Brown are going down. They're going to get that bell. We'll hear some ringing. There you go. They said it's been away too long, so they will reclaim it and have bragging rights. It'll be in the Kannapolis possession for another year. A.L. Brown winning tonight 42-6. Our final score between Kannapolis and Concord. Coach Massey says, go on down and get it. Looks like some of the seniors are going to go down there. I see Josh Reeves running down there, 24 also. I think he probably told some of those, picked out a few, and they're going to gladly bring it back. And you will hear a thunderous roar from the home crowd. Andrew Meade Jr., how'd he get in there? But anyway, get the strong guys to bring it up. Get some of those offensive linemen. Easy Smith, his team, you can see some positives in it. They're going to be okay. They're young. They'll be back. They'll play next week. Scotty Apple, 308-pound senior. Yeah, why not get that guy? Tell you what, they might put Drew Marr on top of his injury. Ride him around the field because he's been through this game a lot as well. But unfortunately, did not get to play in it this year because of the broken leg. Game a lot as well, but unfortunately did not get to play in it this year because of the broken leg. Won this game really in the first half, a 28-0 halftime lead, and then cruised from there on, winning it 42-6 over arch rival Concord. Let's go field side. Here's Woody Kane right now.
Thanks, Randy. Well, Coach Massey, you may have discovered a quarterback in Brandon Franklin tonight, but I know you're probably more pleased with the defensive effort.
Yeah, a lot of compliments to our defense and our coaching staff. I thought they did a great job preparing them. got some points when we needed them. We had some big plays and big catches. We got to get a little bit more consistency offensively, but I think that'll come with time, hopefully. We're happy to have this win. Happy for the people of Kannapolis to have that bell back in Kannapolis, and good luck to the Concord fans, and to the Concord people. We had a great crowd here tonight. It was a great atmosphere for high school football.
Well, Coach, you started off kind of feeling each other out. 7 points in the first quarter, but then in the second, Franklin really heated up. We had him 13 out of 13 at one point, and man, he just exploded.
Yeah, he did, and our receivers got open and ran great routes. That's what we've been preaching to them. If you get open, we'll try to get you the football, and they did that, and they made some plays after the catches. So, very proud of that. We've had to face a lot of adversity, and the kids have responded and kept working hard, and we're proud of them.
And Coach, from one rivalry to another, you got South Lorraine coming in here next week.
Yeah, I hope we have this big crowd next week too. It was great to be at home and be able to play in front of our home people, and they did a tremendous job. I think getting the kids fired up.
Okay, Coach, thanks for your time and congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, Randy, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Woody. Ron Massey, always a class act, win or lose. Tonight he's on the winning end, 42-6. As we'll take a look at some of these final stats, you see the big one. We're talking about the passing, 255 yards. That nearly 100 yards more than Franklin had for the entire year for Kannapolis coming into tonight's game. And total offense, you're going to take that every year, or every week, I should say, almost 400 yards. Penalties, they'll work on those. And the turnovers led to one Kannapolis score. So the Wonders will get the bell for at least another year, and they'll move on next week to take on the Raiders. We'll have that game for you. Hope you'll join us Wednesday night. Glad to be a part of the annual Battle for the Bell. For Woody Gaines, Steve Gatt, the entire Metro 7 production crew, Randy, what they say. Thanks for being with us, everybody.